Hey, Mama! If you're looking to have a deeper relationship with Jesus and searching for a community of Christian moms, I'm so glad you are here. I'm a Christian wife and mom who is passionate about helping mamas finally let go of the mom guilt and learn to live loved. I want to help mamas see that they are truly and perfectly loved, even, especially in motherhood. Welcome back to the Live Loved Mom podcast. I'm Sindy, your host. I'm a wife, mom, and lover of Jesus. Let's dig into God's Word together and get encouraged while we're on this journey of motherhood. Let's learn some parenting tips and mom hacks and learn how to raise our kids God's way. So, grab your coffee, listen on your drive to work, or maybe put that forgotten load of laundry back to wash again. Let's tackle mom guilt together and learn to live loved. Hey Mama, happy Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I'm so glad that you are here. And today we are going to talk about how to make everyday routines fun for kids. I'm just going to share some tips and tricks that have helped me along the way and that hopefully will help you as well. Let's see, what did I do last weekend? We went to see Sound of Hope. And if you have not seen it, I would encourage you to see it. It is such a heartfelt movie, and just seeing what a movement took place from the decision of this couple that was pastoring in the church in Possum, Texas, I believe. Yeah, it's a really beautiful story. So I would encourage you to go check it out if you have not seen it yet. It's called Sound of Hope, and yeah, it's Possum Trot, Texas is the city where it took place, I believe. Okay, so let's see how to make everyday routines fun for kids. First, I just want to say that God, the God of the universe, is a creative God, right? God, our Father, is creative. From Him creating the heavens and the earth, to making us in His own image, to giving detailed instructions in Exodus to build the tabernacle. We can see God's creativity through everything. So I think, we are called to be creative in the way that He is creative. Even Jesus, like when He was giving His responses, He was very creative in the way that He responded to the Pharisees. So I think if our Father is, creative, then we should also be creative in our parenting. So I'm just going to share, a couple of tips that have worked for me and that I have found helpful just with everyday, activities, everyday routines. And I feel that using creativity and making it more fun, it makes it more fun for everybody, not just the kids, for us as moms as well, for the parents as well. It makes it more fun for the whole family when we are creative. And I also think that making it more fun and creative speaks more to our children. Like, they can relate more to playful instructions. So I am going to share what has helped me, and if you have more tips to share, come to the Live Love Mom community on Facebook and come and share it with us there. I would love to hear what tips and tricks that have worked for you, and I'm sure some other moms would benefit to hear that as well. Okay, so let's see. Number one is to turn everyday routines into fun challenges. And This one I like to do, especially in the morning, when my son doesn't feel like getting up and getting dressed. We do something called beat the clock, where we'll put a timer on and he has to put all his clothes on before the timer is up. And I mean, like, really hype it up because um, I don't always do this, but when I do, it's more effective. But sometimes I'll be make believe that there's like a play by play. So I'll be saying things like, with 5 minutes left on the timer, he still has not put any of his clothes on. Or I'll say, we have 2 minutes left on the timer. So far, he's put his shirt on and his pants on. Is he going to be able to beat the clock? So I will really hype it up for him and make it fun. And I feel like that encourages my son to, do these things that sometimes he doesn't want to do. I mean, sometimes us as parents, we don't want to do that either, right? But I feel like making it more fun and being creative and our parenting can be helpful. So another challenge is setting a clock for like 1 minute and say, like, when it's time to pick up toys, how many toys can you pick up in 1 minute? Let's count them. So things like that, like just find ways to make it more fun and more creative. I'm speaking to toddlers to like preschool age, because that's the season that I'm in right now. So that's what I'm sharing. Let's see. So how many toys you can pick up in 1 minute? Another one that we do is racing to the car to see who can get to the car first when we're trying to get out the door and leave. So I'll race you to the car to see who wins. And my husband came up with this idea because it's such a challenge to like buckle up. So we'll play seatbelt champion. Who can get their seatbelts on first and call it, and whoever calls it is seatbelt champion. So just fun, creative things like that. Turn them into a challenge, and that makes it more fun, and your kid is more likely to do it. Okay. Number 2 is find fun and creative ways to level up in a way everyday routine, right? So, like, for example, bath time. I've done like putting glow sticks in the bath water. Um, you can add food coloring to the bath water and make it like a different color. Just find creative ways to make everyday mundane things more fun. And if you're not a creative person, there are so many ideas like on Pinterest, online, that you can find. Um, just ways to make everyday activities more fun. Um, you can also try to sing instructions to them, or make a fun song out of it, like bath time. Like, like, just find ways to make everyday things more fun. Let's see. You can listen to music while doing the activity or the task. That is helpful, I think, like when you're cleaning or doing chores. You can put songs on, even in the bath, like, just putting some music on while you're in the bath, while your kid is in the bathtub. um I have found that helpful. And this is a fun one. Switch roles and play pretend. So I've done this for like bedtime. I will allow like I'll tell my son, okay, well, you put me to sleep because I'm ready to go to sleep. So you read me a story and you tuck me in and you give me hugs and kisses. And let them be the parent, and you take the kid role. So it's like, it's fun to see how they act and how they pretend that they're you, the parent. So I think that makes it more fun to, more playful. to allow them to switch roles and be the parent for a little bit. And third, I have learn your child's love language. So this is something that I recently learned, not not learned. I knew about the five love languages. I knew about them in marriage, but I recently read the five love languages. I think it's for kids or for children or something like that. I'm not sure what the title of it is. Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Five love languages. Okay, so it's called The Five Love Languages of Children. It's by Gary Chapman and Ross Campbell. So I recently read that book and it is so good. If you have not read it, definitely I would recommend you grab it, because I find that it is very helpful in learning how to interact with our kids better, how to parent better. And it's a way to get to know your kid more, because you kind of have to figure out what their love languages are, because there are five types of love languages. Let me see if I can remember them. So there's gifts, like receiving gifts, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation. Oh man, I'm missing one of them. Maybe it'll come back to me. But my son is definitely a words of affirmation and um and quality time. Like, he just loves to spend time with my husband and I. He always wants to hang out and play with us. And definitely words of affirmation. He, that's just, and the thing is that the five languages are a way to the five languages are a way to get to know our children more, but it's also a way to learn how to parent better when it comes to our children, because each child is different, each person is different. So every one of us are probably going to have different love languages. They're not all going to be the same. And I feel that because I have learned, because I have learned to cater to my son in a way, it helps me be more specific about my actions, and what will fill up his cup. And one thing that they talk about in the book is kind of like filling up their love tank and making sure that we have filling up their love tank and making sure that we speak their love language, because it's not just enough to say I love you, but love is an action, and the best way to show that we love our kids is by speaking their love language. So the five love languages are words of encouragement or words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, physical touch, and the gift of giving. So those are the five love languages. And I feel like if we do spend the time to get to know our children in this way, it does help us parent them better, in my opinion. And then my fourth tip is to include them in our daily activities. So that could be, you know, including them and like having chores in the house, but also like with cooking and doing the laundry. Like, I let my son like help me like crack the eggs and cut vegetables. There are like kids knives that you can buy on Amazon. They're like plastic and serrated edges, where kids can like learn to cut with, you know, potatoes and things like that when you're cooking. And I feel like, including them in those things, that's one way, is like to spend quality time, but it also like keeps them busy and occupies their minds. It helps them learn hand eye coordination. So those are all the things that I think can be helpful in making um, our everyday routines more fun. And I feel that including them and, folding the laundry, making that fun too, right? Like if we're cleaning, like if we're all just, picking up stuff or cleaning, maybe put some music on, like make it fun for the whole family, including our children. Um, I mean, those are activities that we don't always want to do. And I feel that this will be helpful in just making everyday activities more fun and more and our kids more make our kids more likely to do them. Yeah, so those are the tips that I have on how to make everyday routines fun for kids. And once again, if you have not joined us in the Live Love Mom community on Facebook, what are you waiting for? Join us so that we can build a community and, help each other along. Motherhood can be so challenging and lonely at times, and it doesn't have to be. You have the Lord, first of all. You always have the Lord with you. And one thing that I have learned in parenting is that, we as moms, we're not in control. We have to surrender our control to the Lord and realize that we are not alone, right? Because I feel like that's that's a way, one of the schemes that the enemy likes to play on us, is to make us believe that we're alone and that we're isolated, that we're the only one going through it. And it's simply not true. And I believe that the Lord has built us for community. I believe that he wants us to, you know, spend time and fellowship with other Christians. He wants us to support each other, right? I mean, God Himself, as a Trinity, is in community. So, and we are created in His image. So we were created for community. Let me see. I believe it was in Ephesians 4. Um, so it says, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so I'm reading Ephesians, and I in Ephesians 4, I'm just gonna read this because I feel like this is helpful for, the atmosphere that we're in lately. It says, "Therefore, I, a prisoner for serving the Lord, beg you to lead a life worthy of your calling, for you have been called by God. Always be humble and gentle, be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. Make every effort to keep yourselves united in the Spirit, building yourself together with peace. For there is one body, one Spirit, just as you have been called to one glorious hope for the future." So I think that, as the body of Christ, we are called to support each other, to be united with each other, and to encourage each other, right? To spur one another towards love and good deeds. As the Bible says, it's the community that can help us, especially in those moments where the devil is in our ear and trying to make us believe that we're alone and that we're the only one going through it. And I just want to tell you, no, you're not alone. And it is a lie. It's a lie from the devil, and do not believe it. Definitely resist that temptation to stay isolated and reach out to a mom. Come join us in the Facebook community. Reach out to a friend. Don't believe the lies of the enemy that you are alone and you're the only one going through it. So many moms out there are going through the same thing that you are, and we can help each other. We can support each other. We can pray for each other. Um, so that is what I had for you on how to make everyday routines fun for kids. And I hope this was helpful. And I want to just thank you so much for continuing to listen to this podcast. And thank you so much for continuing to share it with your friends and your family and all the moms out there that you know that need to hear this or that could benefit from this. I pray that this has blessed you, and remember to live loved. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I pray that it has blessed you in some way. If you found value in this episode, or you know a mama who could use some encouragement, please be sure to share the episode with them. Would you take just a few minutes to leave a review on Apple Podcasts? It would mean a great deal to me if you could let me know what you thought of the episode. Be sure to follow us at Live Love Mom Podcast on Instagram. And if you haven't already, come join us in our free Live Love Mom community on Facebook. Let's mom alongside each other and continue to learn to live loved.